Qantas today is the standout performer on the stock market after it said it will return to profit in this current financial half year. Let's go live to Ross Greenwood. Ross, this is quite an astonishing turnaround here.
Incredible turnaround, there's no doubt about it. And you can see it really in the numbers if we show it to you, because in the last financial year, Qantas for the full year lost $1.86 billion pre-tax. But it's now saying that it will make a profit of between $1.2 and $1.3 billion in this half year alone. And even when you go to the amount of debt that Qantas has, it's saying that as a result of this performance, its full year debt, the end of last year, June 30, was $3.94 billion. It's saying that that is going to drop in this half year to between $3.2 and $3.4 billion. So as I say, this is an astonishing turnaround from an airline that has been criticised, there's no doubt, from passengers in terms of service standards. But the reality is that in terms of its corporate performance, it's been quite astonishing, as its chief executive, Alan Joyce, said today.
For a company that was 11 weeks from going bankrupt, a company that suffered $7 billion in losses over the last 2 years, it's a remarkable turnaround, and it's fantastic that we can share the benefits with our employees, with our customers, and with our shareholders. And that's what a profitable company can afford to do.
So, you know, that's Alan Joyce talking about this incredible turnaround. But let's have a look at the stock market, because that also did a bit of a U-turn for Qantas today as well. So here's Qantas just a short time ago, up more than 10%, these shares. They were the standout of the top 200 companies today by far. And as I say, just a 10% jump for any company on any given day is good. But that's the nature of the surprise to the market about this announcement from Qantas today.
Yes, well, that's the good news. What about the bad news? The customers of Qantas, you don't have to look far, Ross, to see people bagging the national carrier.
Well, that's true. And of course, it's been over its service standards, flights that have been cancelled or delayed, then bags that have been lost. And really, this has been something that consumers have complained about. What Alan Joyce says is that Qantas is in a better position than any other airline to be able to now try and make good with customers, because it will be in profit. So here's a little bit about what he said about a giant sale to try and bring the customers' respect back to Qantas.
So we have announced today that we're going to have 1 million seats on a mega sale, starting with $35 on Jetstar and $99 on Qantas and Qantas Link. So those airfares will still have very high levels of promotions in the market. Our intent is to continue with that. And even on international, you know, we look at what we're selling at the moment, and 50% of our economy class customers have paid less than $2,500 for travel to London, $2,000 for travel to LA, $1,250 from travel to Singapore, $1,000 less for travel to Auckland. So there's still a lot of airfares out there that are very cheap.
OK, from Qantas to Medibank Private, which says it's been the subject of a cyber attack. Is there any word on how big it is?
Yeah, well, it's a bit vague, this. What they say, they've seen unusual activity on the network. And what's happened also on the stock market is that Medibank Private, which is, of course, is the biggest health insurance company in Australia, has suspended its shares until Monday. And you suspect this is them trying to get to the bottom of what has caused this suspicious activity. They're not saying that there's any leak of data. In fact, today, the company put out a statement effectively saying that there is no evidence of any sensitive data, including customer data, having been accessed. But because this comes just on the heels of the Optus hack, where 9.8 million Australians' information was compromised, and quite clearly there were at least 10,000 names, including some Medicare numbers that had been listed publicly on data sites, this is where there is concern as to what information has been accessed, and indeed whether maybe that hack has given people the ability to access other databases. That's not known, that's speculation, but certainly right now Medibank Private is investigating all of this.